Hi, what's going on? Derp here, and today I've got something again quite different, trying out the different sorts of content. I competed in a tournament actually this evening. Some massive battlers, so King, you're looking at Inadequance, Vergiverg, all sort of competing in this tournament. So definitely stakes were high. It was a practice tournament, so well, I say stakes were high; they were quite low, but for me this was quite big because this is a chance to prove myself as a battler. And you're going to see I went positive, so I'm not going to spoil anything, but we can get into these battles and have a look. So my first opponent, Zephy Mastix, I don't know, I presume that's how you pronounce it. They've got a pretty interesting team actually. I really like the double fighting strategy, but they've got double fighting and double dark. And so I'm seeing that my Azumarill here, the only real hard check that they've got to an Azumarill is Nidoqueen. So I'm thinking Nidoqueen and Diggersby along with the Walrein. I'm pretty sure that's my first team that I run with. But they're going to be very good. So we're going to lead Azumarill into Machamp. So this is a really good matchup straight away. So we're going to make sure they're going to actually stay in, which is interesting. By the way, I'm not sure these battles are in order, as in like they're in order of rounds, but the battles themselves might not be in order. But Azumarill are going to go for the play rough, get the shield. They're actually staying in, so I'm reading that they're going to be weak to Azumarill and back. So my prediction is one of the dark types. I'm actually going to shield this. I doubt the Machamp will bait. So I stay in, I keep bubbling away, and they actually end up catching on Nidoqueen, which is a really nice play by the opponent. So that doesn't do much, but we're able to align Diggersby here onto Nidoqueen. And you're going to see, I know that I can get plenty of farm out of this matchup, which is really good. So the Diggersby's going to Earth Power, the Nidoqueen's going to Earth Power. I'm going to farm up nearly to 100, which, well, exactly to 100 really. I'm going to throw a Fire Punch, because I know this won't KO, and I believe I can farm down afterwards. And I think this is only 6. Yeah, so I remember thinking this was only 6. I know shield, expecting the Poison Fang, and it is. So that was a really good play by me, knowing my move counts. Able to completely farm down. So this Machamp going to come in. I make a bit of a misplay here. I end up Earthquaking, and you saw the health bar slightly for a second. It's well in Fire Punch range, I think. I might be wrong, though. But they bring a Sableye, and this is GG. So I'm going to build up to an Earthquake just so I've got it loaded. I'm going to come in with Azumarill. I'm playing quite sloppily, but like, I know I've pretty much won this game already. So I'm actually going to shield because I expect them to straight return here. Yeah, just so I get off this play rough, really. Get that last shield out the way. So I know Registeel's going to have fun with this Sableye if it lands a Zap Cannon. And yeah, I've got the Earthquake loader on Diggersby. So they're farming up a lot here before throwing. I presume this is a foul play. This might actually, it might be a return. Yeah, it's a return. The opponent playing safe. I'm worried. I feel like they've got a move loaded. In hindsight, I know they can't have a move loaded there. But I brought in the Registeel, knowing that it's going to be difficult. And yeah, it'll be difficult for them to get to 2 foul plays, and 2 foul plays won't KO. So this is GG. I'm able to throw my Zap Cannon here. But yeah, so this game went really well. I think this was the second game I played. I really apologize. I've never done this format before. Hopefully next time I do a tournament, it will be sort of like, I'll be better. I'll get a better. You can see my team. Yeah, my team here, which looks good, but like. Their team over there isn't as good. But yeah, here we are. Azumarill into Nidoqueen. So I'm going to swap straight out into Walrein. And actually, I bait out the Medicham. So this was first game. And this is already looking kind of rough. I'm really worried. I feel like they're going to have Machamp in the back. So I'm thinking I've already lost this straight off the bat. So Icicle Spear, number 1. They're actually over farming quite a lot. So I'm going to get to a second Icicle Spear. I'm hoping this pressures the shield. But it looks like the opponent is smart and actually no shields, which makes sense for them because they are, yeah, they've pretty much won this matchup guaranteed. So they actually Ice Punch, so I'm going to be able to not farm down, which is unfortunate. So I've got a choice here. I'm probably going to bring in a Azumarill, soak up the energy here. And yeah, at this point, I'm already thinking, right, well, this isn't very good, is it? So this is probably a psychic. So I'm happy to no shield. The opponent actually ends up going for an ice punch, so that's pretty positive for me, I guess. Taking the extra damage would have been quite nasty. And I'm going to bring in the Diggersby to the Nidoqueen, and they stay in. So I make a bit of a misplay here. I sort of expect them to bait, well, Poison Fang, and then swap out. But they actually go straight for the Earth Power. So this is going to hit for a considerable chunk onto my Diggersby. But thankfully, they're still staying in. And they actually end up trying to catch on the Registeel. So I thought I clicked the Earthquake, but I hadn't. So I end up overfarming over 100 there. But this is fine. I'm going to go straight Earthquake. We don't bait here. And boom, that lands for a considerable chunk. This Fire Punch should not KO. So I won't be surprised if the opponent knows this and no shields. Yeah, the opponent knows this and no shields, which is sort of like so-so for me. I definitely want to shield this because that Nidoqueen is still pretty healthy. They're actually Zap Cannon, so really smart play, I guess, by them, knowing that I'm definitely going to be shielding that. And yeah, this Nidoqueen comes in. I end up throwing the Earthquake. And you're going to see they shield. So I probably should have baited there. However, I didn't want to risk baiting and that being the win con for them. So I'm going to end up catching what I hope to be an Earth Power. It's just a Poison Fang, so that's quite unfortunate. Actually, yeah, that makes sense. They wouldn't have Earth Powered me from that low range. So they're going to throw a Poison Fang here. The second one gets us really low, and I'm hoping that we're going to be able to close with Diggersby. So they're going to debuff us here. I'm thinking, please, I hope I've got enough health to get to 2 Fire Punches. And we actually got an invisible sneak there. We're going to be able to fast move deny. And so we've got the back-to-back. And like, please, game, please don't lag or anything. Let us get off both of these Fire Punches. And we do. And that was by far one of the closest games. I don't know why I cut off there, but we ended up taking out the Nidoqueen. And that was a super close game. So GG's. We're 2-0 here, and so this is the final battle. So we're looking pretty strong. Diggersby lead into Registeel. So you can see I make a bit of a misplay here. I sort of expect them to Zap Cannon, knowing from the previous game that they like Zap Cannoning my Diggersby, but no, it's a Focus Blast. So my opponent's smart there, but they end up safe switching Medicham. So I bring in my Trevenant here, because I ended up bringing Trevenant this game. Because even though it's quite scared of the Dark types, I thought there's a chance, because they're definitely going to bring a fighter, aren't they? So yeah, and I'm going to throw the Shadow Ball here instead of baiting, because I know that a Seed Bomb won't KO, and they might expect me to bait, but they end up shielding, so smart play by my opponent, and I'm actually able to get to another Seed Bomb here. So we're going to see what the opponent's going to do. They're going to no shield this, and it's quite a difficult spot, but I'm going to end up shielding because I really want switch advantage, because my Azumarill versus Registeel, thanks to the Zap Cannon being added to Registeel, it's a lot less comfortable matchup. So I'm going to shield, take switch there. So we're looking pretty good. Also, I don't know why the battles are so low quality. Oh, wait a second. What if I... This is very well prepared, am I right? We're going to go like that. We're gonna go like that. Yeah, alright, here we are. So Trevenant gonna Seed Bomb the Mandibuzz, and I'm gonna get taken out. And Azumarill's gonna come in, and this is already looking like a good game, because Mandibuzz has got very little play versus Azumarill. Unless they're running Shadow Ball, the only move they can hit us with is Aerial Ace. And yeah, Aerial Ace is Aerial Ace. So that's really not gonna be pressuring us that much. They tried to catch on the Registeel, the opponent knowing that that's pretty much their only play is to catch a Play Rough, but I was staying steadfast knowing that was their play, so I wasn't throwing. So I'm going to swap Diggersby. I'm going to go for the Earthquake. I'm going to go for the second Earthquake, definitely shielding this, even though it's a high chance it's a Zap Cannon. No, the opponent only had enough energy for a Focus Blast, it seems, so that's fine. Earthquake here looks to be... It won't take out the Registeel. No, I won't. So, I know a Fire Punch will KO, but I don't want the Mandibuzz farming me fully down. So, I'm going to completely undercharge this, knowing the Registeel cannot store back-to-back moves. So, they actually level 1 HP. And I'm just going to let them take me out. So, this Focus Blast is going to KO, but they've not got a move loaded, so I can just farm down. They swap it to Mandibuzz, and this is CMP tie, but I know that they cannot get enough Aerial Aces. Cannot get off enough Aerial Aces. Did I say that right? God knows. But we're going to throw the first player off here, and this is going to grab a... why am I... Derp, please. Zone back in. Right. That's going to get them very low. This Aerial Ace comes through, doesn't do much. They're probably going to throw another Aerial Ace, but nope. And that player off would have killed, but for some reason, my recording cut off, so... don't know. I'll have to fix that for next game. Probably the lack of storage on wait a second, I need to pause this. Ignore what is happening on the screen. Yeah. So yeah, let's just sum up that round, because I got the 3-0 there. So this was the first round, and I was like, this is going really well. Suspiciously well. I shouldn't be doing this well in a tournament. And yeah, I think I had a decent amount of play versus my opponent's team. Azumarill really put in work. I'm really glad I brought Azumarill to this tournament. But the next battle that I go up against is Love the Music. So let's go like that. Let's go. I've worked it out. See? I'm very smart. So we're going to go into this next battle here. And yeah, we've got Trevenant lead into Cresselia. So wait, actually, what I should do is I should talk about my opponent's team. So, Cofagrigus, Cresselia, Diggersby, Walrein, Drapion, and Toxicroak. So, Drapion and the Toxicroak, both being poison types, though only one of them I'd say is comfortable versus Azumarill. So, Azumarill has a decent matchup here against, well, like, I'd say probably about half of their team. But also, the Walrein and the Cresselia and the Drapion will be quite rough for my Azumarill. So, I'm not sure I'm going to use that as much this round. Instead, what I think I'm going to do is, as you can see, Trevenant beats Cresselia. Diggersby, actually, it doesn't beat Diggersby, but it's a pretty close matchup. Can beat Walrein, and has got good play versus Toxicroak, as well as... Did I mention Cofagrigus? It's sort of okay versus Cofagrigus, despite Cofagrigus' extra bulk. It's a bit more bulky than Trevenant. So Trevenant looks decent. Diggersby actually looks really solid. The only thing that's a worry for my Diggersby is the Walrein. So I'm going to bring that. And I think Walrein is a generalist. That's why this round I'm going to bring Walrein as well. So I led Trevenant into Cresselia. They say swap Drapion. I've got Diggersby. So this is a commanding matchup here. They're going to throw a crunch, which doesn't do a lot, but I do get the defense drop, and I overfarm here for I don't really know. So they're going to get off another crunch, which will do a bit more than the other, and I'm now in crunch range. So if they shield this, then that's not good. But I'm going to go straight for the Earthquake because I expect them to call the bait, and they try to call the bait. So very good there. I maintain switch advantage, and they're going to bring in the Cresselia. So despite being defense debuff, they're not going to be able to farm us down. So I'm just going to keep spamming out these Earthquakes, which is solid. That hits for about 40% of Cresselia's health, which is respectable considering how bulky Cresselia is. So I'm just going to pressure the Earthquake, force them to throw a move, and that is the Grass Knot that will take me out. But Trevenant here is a nice wall, and they've got their Diggersby. So what I'm seeing here is, yeah, we've sort of just hard countered them. So Walrein is going to have a fun time versus Diggersby. Shield, and it is the Earthquake, which is really good. This is commanding. And I'm just going to start spamming off these Icicle Spears. This probably gets a shield. It sure does. But I've got another one loaded, and I rapidly outpace this Diggersby, so I'm pretty sure this is CMP tie that I threw on. So I'm going to get the second shield, probably. And yeah, I'm feeling confident that I can tank an Earthquake from this range. So I let this go, and it's actually a Fire Punch. So that's really good for me. And I'm going to be able to throw this Icicle Spear, put this Diggersby really low, and this looks quite good for us. We've got the Cresselia swapping in, and Trevenant here is, yeah, it's just going to be able to tank any move. I don't want to get baited, so that's why I no-shield the first one. It is a Moonblast. That does like 65% and debuffs the attack. So I'm just going to go straight Shadow Ball here. No need to go for the Seed Bomb. And yeah, this looks like a GG first game. So I'm going to be able to get to the C-Bomb versus the Diggersby. And I think this cuts off as well. Yeah, I think it does. So regardless, that's a good first game. And we're going to go into the second game. So Diggersby lead into Cofagrigus. What a call from me. This is super good. And they say swap Walrein. And I've got Wobbuffet. Oh yeah, I've got Wobbuffet. So this is really fun. I decided to bring Wobbuffet for, well, no real reason. I just fancied using it because I love Wobbuffet. So it's going to be able to tank these Icicle Spears like a champ. And you can see this Walrein has not got much to do. And counters are hitting for super effective. Despite being very low damage because Wobbuffet's got an atrocious I can't speak. An atrocious attack stat. They're still hitting for super effective, which is pretty good. Return, they actually let go, which means I'm pretty much guaranteed to win switch here. I'm contemplating farming down, and I think I end up farming down. Actually, no. Actually, they swap into Cofagrigus. Yeah, I remember this. So, Diggersby is a great counter to Cofagrigus, resisting everything apart from either Dark Pulse or Psychic, depending on what they're running. Probably running a Psychic, yeah, for that debuff chance. I'm just going to go straight Earthquake. As you can see, a lot of these battles, I tend not to bait. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't, but I don't know. I think baiting is just a bit too high risk, high reward for me. So I'm going to throw the Fire Punch. They probably let this go, knowing it does not KO the Cofagrigus. Yeah, they let it go. And I actually sneak in 2 mud shots as they're throwing their moves, so lovely bit of lag there, but it's fine. They get off their Psychic, and I'm able to farm down. I know they've got a move loaded on Walrein, so I'm actually going to swap into Wobbuffet and catch their move. I was super pleased with this play. You saw the switch clock was just up. So I throw Miracle and I actually swap into their own Cresselia. And this went from looking really good to sort of... Wait, this might not be over yet, because as you can see, I cannot hit this Cresselia for anything. And they're just going to farm me down. I think at the end, they ended up with 12 or 13 Psycho Cuts worth of energy, which was like super scary at the time. I was like, oh god, what did I just put myself into? They let the return go, which is quite nice. I'm going to bring in Diggersby, and, well, I've got the Fire Punch loaded. I feel like this is going to be CMP tie, because they're pretty much at 100 energy now, so... Fire Punch, they let go, which is good management of, well, good knowledge of my energy by them. I'm going to let this go myself. It is the Grass Knot. It does take me out. And I've got Trevenant. And I'm thinking, wait, my win con is just to farm everything down, right? So I'm going to shield up this just in case it's a Moonblast. They actually bait, which is a smart play by my opponent. And I think that means they get off their actual Moonblast here. And I let it go because I'm pretty convinced the Walrein has got a move. But I'm not sure, actually, in hindsight, what the Walrein's energy was like. But just to be safe, I guess, we're able to Shadow Claw down the Walrein and Shadow Claw down the Cresselia. So that is a GG. So we are looking to have won the first 2 rounds already. This is going off amazing. It was a 5-round tournament. Alright, so Azumarill to Walrein. This isn't an amazing matchup. The Walrein can definitely win this. I think in the 1s and 2 shields. I'm going to throw a Play Rough. They're at their Earthquake now. It takes 9 Powder Snows for them to get to their first Earthquake and 8 for the second, I believe. So I throw the Play Rough, and they throw the Earthquake here. I'm contemplating shielding because I know they're not likely to bait, but in the end I just let it go because, well... I don't know. I just sort of let it go. Hello? My mic is being dodgy. Yeah, but that's fine. I throw a Play Rough. And yeah, they shield that and swap into Drapion. So this is super good. They just, I think this was a misplay by my opponent, to be honest. Because the Diggersby has got a really nice matchup here. And we're definitely going to be able to maintain switch advantage. They don't debuff on their first crunch, which is really good. So this Earthquake is going to hopefully get a shield. Actually, no, it just one-shots, so that's really perfect. And they bring in Walrein, and I know, thank you, Diggersby, for being so tanky. I'm going to be able to take this Icicle Spear no problem and pressure a move. So they actually end up throwing both icicle spears. So this Walrein is pretty dry on energy right now, so I'm not scared to bring in the Azumarill. I mean, I could have brought in Registeel, but I'd have to shield like an Earthquake or something. I'd actually bring in Cofagrigus, and I'm just going to go straight for the Hydro Pump. This was unnecessary, because even a Play Rough would have put it into Zap Cannon range, but I just wanted to get off as much damage as I can. And you're actually going to see, because it looks like Cofagrigus has got quite a low HP stat, these lock-ons are actually doing quite a bit of damage. So we're going to safely shield up this move, which is the Shadow Ball, and reach the Zap Cannon here. Oh, also, I'm wearing a Home Slice Henry merch. No way, GG's. Check out Home Slice Henry. He's an amazing content creator. And yeah, so we're just going to be able to keep lock-onning this Cofagrigus. And because I Hydro Pumped, I think I'm going to be able to lock on down this Cofagrigus completely, which I find quite funny, considering it was very, well, somewhat healthy when I came into it. And they're actually going to come into the Walrein. This is probably an Earthquake, which it is. So I farmed to, oh, well, no, I was going to farm actually, but it was a decent CMP tie. Or a CMP tie, can't tell. And the Focus Blast does take out, and we're going to lock on down this Cofagrigus. They get to a move, which is probably a Shadow Ball. So actually, we weren't able to lock on down the Cofagrigus. Yeah, I'm quite sad now, but we bubble down. So yeah, GG. We're going to pause it here because yeah, that was the second round in the tournament, and we went 3-0 again. So at this point, I'm like, no way. And I checked the rankings, and at this point, I was well, top ranked in the tournament. So I can say that I was ranked above King IV in a tournament. Let's go. Ignore that he was running Bite Nidoqueen, I think. No hate, by the way. That was Bite Nidoqueen. I know my friend, just off on a side note, my friend Septilius25, he's an amazing battler, but he actually played King in this tournament, and I'm pretty sure he beat King, so GG's from him to King, I guess. But yeah, anyway, on to the next team for me. So they've got Nidoqueen, Mandibuzz, Umbreon, Medicham, Registeel, and Scrafty. And I'm like, oh no, because I know they're going to be abusing Nidoqueen Double Dark, which is a very good line, even just in Open Great League, never mind tournaments like this. So I'm very scared, and as you're going to see, I don't do very well. So I'm going to bring a Azumarill, because it looks like it's got the most play. I lead Trevenant into Medicham, so actually this is pretty solid, but they say swap Nidoqueen, and I don't have a counter to Nidoqueen. I should have brought Walrein. I don't know why I didn't bring Walrein. Or why didn't I bring Diggersby? To be honest, I'm a bit stupid. But, I end up bringing Azumarill into Nidoqueen. I'm like, what the heck are you doing? This is not a good matchup for Azumarill. I'm not even going to be able to get to a Play Rough. I'm going to have to shield if I want to get this Play Rough. So I don't think I even shield. No, I don't shield. So I basically just sacrifice Azumarill, and doesn't get me much. So I'm probably going to bring in the Trevenant here, because, well, it makes sense. But they're going to get to a Poison Fang. And, yeah, this is getting my shield. And it's debuffing me. And I'm already in the red. And I throw a move. And yeah, this is not looking good. I've basically already lost this game. Despite leading Trevenant into Medicham, I lost the game. I played really awfully this round, actually. Yeah, honestly, I am quite embarrassed by this gameplay. But I'm still going to show it to you because I guess that's part of the improving, looking in hindsight. And I no shield that, expecting the Zap Cannon, and it was the Zap Cannon, and it still did a lot. So, like, yeah, that's not great. I throw a Focus Blast, they shield it, and swap into Medicham, and this is GG's. I don't think I'm even going to throw a move at this point. I am, okay, I'm going to still try. This Zap Cannon is going to do about half of the, not even half of Medicham's health. So yeah. They actually prolonged this a lot, so I'm happy. This is probably a nice punch. Let this go, GG's. But no, it's a power-up punch. And, yeah, they're gonna throw another power-up punch. I'm just like, please end my suffering. And, yeah, I guess the recording ended our suffering because here we are going into the next game. So we're gonna lead Trevenant into Nidoqueen. So this is sort of a bad matchup, but we've got to stay in because stupid me didn't bring any counters to Nidoqueen. Honestly, I probably just forgot Diggersby even existed. I honestly don't know why I did this, so I'm just gonna stay in, shield up the poison fang. They swap into Scrafty. I'm like, yes, hope Azumarill can come in and do something, but then I realize, oh wait, they probably got Medicham in back, and my team doesn't have much play against Medicham. Even if I get the Trevenant locked onto it, what do they have? Yeah, Nidoqueen. My Registeel can't really beat Nidoqueen, so they let that go. So I'm like, yeah, that was definitely a ABB line. They're bringing the Nidoqueen. They're just gonna get so much energy here. And they're probably gonna throw a move, but no, they don't throw a move. So I'm gonna throw my player off. This probably gets a shield. And it does get a shield. And bubbles are chunking, but yeah, they're just gonna poison jab me down, I guess. So this is not looking good. I bring in the Trevenant and I throw and they catch on the Umbreon. This was an amazing play by my opponent, knowing I had the loaded energy, knowing I was gonna throw. So super well played by them. I've literally not got much hope here. I thought, well, it's better than Medicham being in back because at least Registeel can beat Umbreon. But they're just going to keep spamming out these foul plays, chipping me more. What the heck? I cannot speak today. Chipping me more and more. And yeah, this this Registeel will probably be able to fire off like 2 Focus Blasts. I contemplate baiting with Zap Cannon, but that would be a bad idea. So I'm just going to Focus Blast it. Yeah, we can't do much else here. It's just going to be Focus Blasting. I know that their Nidoqueen is still, well, yeah. It's still got so much loaded energy that it doesn't matter what I do. They actually bring in the Nidoqueen. And I make the right play here. I shield this up, and because it is an Earth Power. And then I swap. And you know, I think I might have been able to win this game had I not thrown this move. Because throwing that move... Because I think they had a Poison Fang. I needed to farm down the Nidoqueen with Registeel to be able to Focus Blast the Umbreon. But as you're going to see, I'm like 1 lock-on away from the Focus Blast, and they've got another move loaded. So, yeah, GG's there. That is really unfortunate. Also, I just can't get over how horrible the stupid the teams over there are. It's so bad. Yeah, I need to fix that for next time I do a tournament. But anyway, I think this was the first game actually. So I'll lead Wobbuffet into Nidoqueen. This is all going well. This is actually a matchup that Wobbuffet probably doesn't even win, despite being a Psychic type. That's how bad of a move Mirror Coat is. So we're gonna throw the Mirror Coat. I thought this was CMP, but it wasn't CMP apparently. So, the Mirror Coat does like, what, 40%, which is just embarrassing. Come on, Wobbuffet, you're better than this. And I actually made the right play here. I call the Earth Power, and I don't know what to do here. So I sort of know that I'm just going to stay in. And they swap into Medicham, and I bring in Azumarill, and then I think, oh, they're going to have something weak to Azumarill and back. So my opponent does an amazing job here of using the fact that 4 of their Pokemon are weak to Azumarill, knowing that I'm going to bring Azumarill, baiting it out, so whatever's left, their other Pokemon that's weak to Azumarill and back, will have a field day against the rest of my team. So they can even tank the player off so comfortably, and I remember screwing this up so hard. My thinking was I could shield, because I knew that I needed to preserve the Azumarill, because whatever was in back was weak to the Azumarill, so I needed to preserve. So I shielded the Psychic, and I try and throw the player off, and the game lags, and it means that I can't throw my player off. But either way, that was really horribly played by me, because I should have known I couldn't have farmed down, and I should have known that a bit of residual energy on a low health Azumarill wasn't going to do much, because they had 2 shields. But yeah, they're going to bring in the Nidoqueen against my Registeel here. They Earth Power. This hits for a lot of damage, and yeah, I don't know what happens here. I think I ended up just farming up a ton of energy for no reason. And I swap into Wobbuffet, and they've got Scrafty in back, and I already know they're going to 2-shield flex me, so I go for the return. But it just doesn't do enough, and they're going to be able to get to the foul play and take me out here, and that is unfortunate. This wasn't 0-3. This was my... No, not only 0-3. I played that really poorly. Let me just pause this. Right. So yeah, that team, without using Diggersby, I should have used Diggersby or Walrein a bit more there. But yeah, that was a shambles of a round. I'm really quite embarrassed about how poorly I played that. But this next round against V-Base's 60, this was probably the closest round I played. So shout out to this opponent. I think he did really well. I noticed that he's below level 40, so he didn't have access to XL Pokemon yet, which is quite impressive considering I've got 3 XLs on my team. So let's get into these battles. You can see his team is probably a lot more diverse. I'd say there's a lot less bulk on this team than there has been on previous teams. So I'm looking to exploit that lack of bulk. I'm thinking Trevenant here looks pretty decent. Despite the fact that Talonflame is a fire type, it can still lose to Trevenant, which I find quite cool. Wigglytuff and Umbreon would be the problems for it, though. So, so we're going to see... I think also I bring a Azumarill, because Azumarill just looks like it's such a great generalist. Apart from Trevenant, which I think is why I also bring Walrein. So, if I remember correctly, I use those 3. So... I tried my best. Yeah, alright. So I'm going to lead Walrein into Trevenant. So this is a great opening matchup for me. And they're going to swap straight into Talonflame. So I'm going to swap into Azumarill here. Knowing that, yeah, this is a perfect matchup for me. I can no-shield everything. They probably Brave... Do they Brave Bird? No, that's actually Flame Charge. So I like this play, putting a bit more pressure on me to throw a move, because the Brave Bird that would be incoming would be boosted. I'm actually going to throw the Hydro Pump, because they'd survive an Ice Beam or a Play Rough, so I've got a high suspicion that they'll no-shield, which they do. So that's really good for me. We're looking really solid here. Apart from the fact that my Trevenant and Walrein lose to one thing both on that team, and that is a loaded Trevenant. And what does Azumarill do here? It serves as a place for Trevenant to load up. They even call my Play Rough, which I find absolutely ridiculous. So this Trevenant is going to Seed Bomb, and because I'm so XL, I'm like a 1-15-14. They're going to be able to get so much farm, and I'm not even able to get off my Play Rough there, which sucks a lot. I bring in the Walrein here, because I know that they're probably going to Seed Bomb. I'm going to actually no-shield it. This hits very hard. I expect them to Seed Bomb again, but no. They swap into Umbreon, and then I realize all this time I'd forgotten Umbreon existed, so, yeah, I'm sort of just dead here. I remember raging because they were farming up so much on this Umbreon, or it felt like it. I was like, just kill me already. I know I've lost, so the Umbreon's going to farm me down. And yeah, at this point, I just know the game's over. I'd have no play there. So I just, yeah, basically resign that. So this is the next game, I hope. Azumarill lead into Trevenant. So this is, again, really bad. But I've got a bit of a different line here. So I'm going to swap into Walrein. And they're actually going to stay in. And I didn't throw a move there because I expected them to try and catch on something, like a Registeel, but the Seed Bomb I shield, and I actually bring in Talonflame, and because I'm so loaded, I'm going to be able to unleash a lot of energy onto this Talonflame. So, first Icicle Spear actually gets a shield, which is really nice, and the second Icicle Spear, because they overtapped, this will probably not get a shield, so it's like, do I want to shield this, or do I want to no-shield this? I actually sneak a Powder Snow through, but I like to no-shield. So here, I probably bring in a Azumarill and farm down. Yeah, I do that, which I get a decent amount of energy. This is going to be a Flame Charge, so I know I can safely no-shield. This will do negligible damage to me. So yeah, we leave with a decent, like, 4 bubbles worth of energy. So because of the powder snow damage on the Trevenant, it's actually closer to play rough range. So I'm going to throw the play rough here, and I expect a shield actually, which I do get, so that's really good. I'm going to swap into Diggersby. I'm calling Umbreon again in the back, and it is Umbreon in the back. So this is decent for me. I can get this Umbreon out of here with 2 Earthquakes and probably a Fire Punch as well. So first Earthquake hits, well, not very hard at all actually, because Umbreon is so bulky. But with that bulk comes a low attack stat, so I know I'm going to be able to take all of these foul plays, no problem. We've got the Earthquake coming through again, so this will hit, yeah, considerably hard on the Umbreon. It's looking to be just in 5 punch range. Well, no, actually, no. My god, sorry. So I'm going to tank this as well. I'm going to farm up to, well, I hope to get to around to... I'm actually here. I'm scared of a snipe from the Trevenant. So I'm going to swap into Azumarill. And I'm thinking, oh, this is not looking good. Then I realize I'm so far out of Seed Bomb range, they're going to have to... well, no, sorry. They're not going to be able to take me out unless they throw 2 Seed Bombs, which they can't. So I throw this Play Rough, and I'm praying it KOs. Please KO. And they live on like 1 HP, and they actually throw another move. But even this isn't that bad. Because what this allows me to do is farm down the Trevenant. Actually, they, yeah, so they completely undercharged. And because they let me get a couple of bubbles in here, it puts the Umbreon perfectly into Fire Punch range. So I'm able to throw this Fire Punch and take it out. So that's a GG. This is 1-1 so far, and the tension is rising here, because this is like the first time that I've been in a situation where it's tied. So I'm going to lead Diggersby, and I call the Trevenant lead, which is super good, because Diggersby is a pretty solid counter to Trevenant, and they save swap Umbreon, and I bring in a Azumarill, and this looks really nice for me. So I know I'm going to be able to preserve switch advantage by just throwing straight Play Roughs. So what is in the back? If they're safe swapping Umbreon, they're highly wanting, like, they're baiting out the Azumarill, sorry. So what happened there? I do not know, but they threw a last resort. So I'm thinking there might be a Talonflame in the back, which isn't that bad for me at all, because Walrein does decent against Talonflame. My god, sorry, I don't know where this cough has come from. Probably just because I've been speaking for more than half an hour, which I never do. But Umbreon gets taken out by that second Play Rough, and they're going to bring in Trevenant. And I throw the Play Rough here. Should get some water for next video. But yeah, so they're going to try and farm up as much as they can, which is slightly worrying, but at the same time not too worrying, because Diggersby can take a decent amount of that. They're actually undercharged, so I'm going to swap in my Diggersby. Which then I realized, wait, if they've got Trevenant in the back, I've just put myself into a pretty unfavorable position. And they actually catch the Fire Punch, so amazing counting by my opponent. Catching that Fire Punch on the Talonflame, which I did call correctly. So I'm going to be able to get to an Earthquake here, and I really doubt they're going to Brave Bird, so I'm going to no-shield the move that they throw, because I hope I can get to, well, another Earthquake. So I'm going to no-shield this. Definitely Walrein is the win con here. Flame Charge does, well, not that much, actually. So I was going to throw a Fire Punch, but then I know that I'm actually going to be able to reach another Earthquake. So they end up throwing the Flame Charge, which is really good for me here, knowing that energy dry. So I'm going to bring in my Walrein, which glitches about for some reason. They're going to throw a lot. Look how much these Incinerates are doing, but I'm just able to get the perfect amount of Powder Snows. I try and catch, expecting them to throw immediately, but I don't know. I reach a Play Rough here, and the opponent ends up quitting the game. So that was a GG. That was actually Yeah, super well played by my opponent there, because that was, well, yeah, as I said, the closest round that I played. So we took the 2-1. So at this point, I'm 3-1 in the tournament. I'm like, right, let's go for this 4-1. And then I match up against Magic Mason. And currently Magic Mason, I think, was like 3rd. And their team is a lot different to any others I faced, because they've got Altaria, Galarian Stunfisk, Jellicent, and Obstagoon. So I feel like, yeah. Oh, that's it. I do not know what happened. I only one of these battles actually recorded. So probably my storage on my phone got full. So I'm going to use my second phone next time if I do a tournament to record. But yeah, we can watch this one battle. I'm just going to spoil it straight away. I went 0-3. This guy really beat me. In the last game, I sort of lagged, froze in the... Well, I had my Diggersby out, and they had their Jellicent out, and they got off a couple of extra Bubble Beams, so I sort of just forfeited that. So it was 2-0 to them, plus a game where I lagged. But we can watch this first game, see what their decisions were against my team. So I sort of thought this might happen, Obstagoon, and I'm going to catch the Night Slash onto my Azumarill, which, yeah, okay, it's good, but they've probably got a really hard counter, so I'm expecting the Trevenant to come in. So yeah, the Trevenant comes in. So I'm going to throw the player off. So I should have, I was thinking, like, I had the debate in my mind, Hydro Pump or Ice Beam. And I'm glad I went with Hydro Pump, because I feel like it just hits a lot harder than the other two moves. So I prefer that than having Ice Beam, which, yeah, it's a bait move. And I've got Wall Rain for Ice type damage anyway, so I didn't think that was that bad. And to be honest, because people don't know I'm not running Ice Beam, like this situation, they're still happy to shield. I make a mistake here. I don't think shielding this was the right play. But because I know they've got lots of energy, I want them energy dry for my own Trev to try and deal with it. Which I'm going to be able to. I'm going to throw the Shadow Ball in case they try and call a bait. But yeah, what was I rambling on about then? Yeah, Ice Beam, Hydro Pump over Ice Beam. I don't know, I just prefer Hydro Pump. But yeah, they're gonna bring in the, I realized, oh no, wait, so I actually catch the Night Slash on Wobbuffet, which is quite funny. I caught both the Night Slashes. Then I have the realization, oh no, it's Jellicent in back. It's Obstagoon Double Ghost. And Obstagoon Double Ghost hard countered me, so this was quite unfortunate. So yeah, you're just gonna see I can't do anything here. There's no point me shielding. Mirror Coat is the only move that will actually hit this Jellicent for any damage whatsoever. And as you're gonna see, that's basically nothing anyway. So I'm thinking, all right, what if they throw? Then I realize no, they're just gonna farm up to 100 and try and throw. So yeah, this looks like it's gonna be a GG. And yeah, let me see, where do I pause the video? We've got a lot of this agony. Let's just, yeah, wow, so cool. Seaboom gets the shields. And yeah, I shield that, but at the end of the day, I was going to lose that battle anyway. So yeah, I guess that's it. I hope you enjoyed. It's, as you can tell, it's really just thrown together a bit of me sort of ad-libbing, I guess, wanting to rush it out and shoutcast while the tournament is fresh in my memory. So I think that's a bit better, shoutcasting having just played rather than waiting a couple of days and it just forgetting it all. But yeah, regardless, I hope you enjoyed. I know it's probably not the best video I've ever uploaded, but it's just something different. And if you did enjoy, if you're here at the end, I don't know, like, comment what color your socks are or something. That would be funny if we can get just loads of colors being spammed. But yeah, leave a comment if you did, if you enjoy this sort of, like, if you'd enjoy more better quality tournament videos, so me doing more tournaments, or if you just prefer the GBL videos, don't be afraid to tell me that either. It's honestly all criticism, and it's what you guys enjoy. Obviously, it's not going to be, oh, I'm never doing a tournament again if you guys prefer GBL. It's just sort of gauging how I can get my viewership up a bit without harming anyone, I guess. But yeah, that's going to be it for the video. Thank you so much. I've just rambled for, like, what, 44 minutes? So, yeah, hope you enjoyed. Goodbye, guys.